internet, so in order to make myself not buy any more books this month, I'm going to go ahead and do my June book haul. I went a little crazy this month in the book buying department. I really have no excuse, and I'm just gonna jump right in because I have a lot of books and I am banning myself from the bookstore until I can get some more read. The first thing I got was Lumena by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I've wanted to get a copy of this book for a while just because it is so beautiful. First off, I mean, especially the naked hardback, I mean, guys. So there's that, but also just because I've heard really great things about this book, and even though it's really big, I've heard that it's kind of a fast read because it's told through like emails and other kind of documents, so I'm really curious to read this, and I know that the second one comes out, I think, towards the end of the year, so I'm really looking forward to reading this. The next thing I got was Winter by Marissa Meyer. This is the fourth book in the Lunar Chronicles series, which if you watch my channel you know that I've been reading those this year, and this is the last one. I haven't read it yet. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it ends though. I've heard that this is very, very good and that it's a very good finale to the series. But it's also like 830 something pages, I think, so I haven't gotten into it yet, but I'm definitely going to get to it at some point this summer because I want to see how the series ends. And then, of course, in order to finish off my collection of Lunar Chronicles, I had to get Stars Above by Marissa Meyer, and this is like a collection of short stories, I think, or novellas or something, but I know that I think there's also supposed to be an epilogue to Winter in here, so you're supposed to read it last. It's fairly short, so whenever I do eventually get around to reading Winter, I'm definitely going to pick this up next. If you don't know what the Lunar Chronicles is, I'm going to give you a little kind of summary. I don't want to say too much about it because I don't want to spoil it since these are at the end of the series, but they're basically like sci-fi retellings of fairy tales. The first book is Cinder, which is a retelling of Cinderella, and then you have Scarlet, which is Little Red Riding Hood, and Cress, which is Rapunzel. And I really like this series. I think it's very interesting. It's unlike anything I've ever read before. And if you like sci-fi or fairy tale or fantasy or anything like that, I would give this a chance if you haven't already. The next thing I got was We Should All Be Feminists by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie? I know I just completely screwed up her name and I'm really, really sorry. This was on the discount shelf at Barnes & Noble and it's something that I've been wanting to read for a while, and it's really, really short, so I think I'm going to save it for a future readathon. The next four books all go together and are kind of the reason why I bought so many books this month, and it is the Throne of Glass series, or at least most of it, by Sarah J. Maas. I already owned Throne of Glass, and then I started reading it, so I basically just went out and bought the rest of the series, which includes Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, The Assassin's Blade, and Queen of Shadows. This series, if you don't know, is kind of, I won't tell you about these books specifically, but I'll kind of tell you about the first one. It is about a 17-year-old assassin named Selena Sardothian, and she has been put in a prison, and the crown prince shows up one day and tells her that his father, the king, is going to be holding a contest to see who will be the king's champion and will be his new assassin. And the prince wants Selena to be his champion, so she can either stay in the prison she's in and basically be a slave and eventually probably die, or she can choose the competition. So of course she chooses the competition, and I have been so hooked on this series. I've been just binge reading it all month, and this is pretty much the reason why I've bought so many books this month, and the reason why I haven't gotten to Winter yet. The next thing I bought is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I have never read an Emily Bronte book, and this one has been one that I've been wanting to read for a while, and it's in an edition. It's the Penguins Classics Deluxe Edition, and I have two other classics in this edition, so I like to try and keep my classics within the same editions, if that makes sense. And so when I saw this, these are not super popular in bookstores, these editions, so I went ahead and decided to go ahead and get it. This doesn't have a summary on it, but it's a classic, so I feel like that's enough for me, and I'll just go in not knowing a whole lot. The next book I got is Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. I've never read a Morgan Matson book, and they're supposed to be really, really good, and I'm kind of getting in the mood for contemporary a little bit because I've been reading so much fantasy, so I thought I would get this because it was on sale. Basically, this is about two teenagers, Sloane and Emily. Emily is not the kind of person that likes to get out of her shell very often, so one day she finds a list that Sloane left her that has 13 things that she wants her to do to try and yank her out of her shell a little bit. And I think there's a romance that happens, and this just sounds like a really good summer read, which is something that I've been wanting to kind of get to as soon as I finish the Zone of Glass series. And the last three books are a trilogy I got, and the main reason I got them is because they were on buy two get a third free shelf at Books A Million, and I've been hearing really good things about this series, so I figured I'd go ahead and take advantage of the opportunity, and that is the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy by Laini Taylor, including The Daughter of Smoke and Bone, Days of Blood and Starlight, and Dreams of Gods and Monsters. I don't know a whole lot about this trilogy, and there's not a summary on the back of the book, but I do believe it is a YA fantasy series, and I've been wanting to read more YA fantasy, clearly, so I thought I would go ahead and pick these up since they were on sale. And that's it for my June book haul. I say that's it like I didn't purchase a million books, but I'm not planning on buying a whole lot of books in July other than the new Harry Potter book, so I'm gonna let this go, but I'm not gonna let myself buy any more books for a while because I need to read more before I buy more. Let me know some books that you picked up this month down in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.